Okay, part two. um, Slowly, little by little, my tummy function is coming back, I'll just say. And sometimes, without warning, I have called to go into another room. um, I've affectionately nicknamed my tummy Franken-tummy because not only does it look like Frankenstein, it also makes noises quite a bit like Frankenstein. But anyway, so where was I? I think I was saying that it's probably about 9:15, 9:30 or so. Dr. Jones' assistant came. Hi, I'm doing a video. What? It's my mother. My nurse. Dr. Jones, one of his surgical assistants, had come into the room, and she said that Dr. Jones was running about 2 hours behind the case ahead of me, had some issues, and so he was taking care of her. So Bob decided to go to work, and my mom sat there and read her book, and I tried to get some sleep. I knew I wasn't going to get any sleep. I was just kind of closing my eyes and trying to relax and doing some deep breathing, and then old Earl rolls up next to me, and he was getting some pocket taken out of his esophagus. I don't know. Earl was 80 years old. All I knew is that Earl didn't have any... They're watching the Bears game. I don't know if you can hear that. They're going a little crazy. Earl was an 80-year-old man. He had no teeth, full dentures, and liked to flirt with every single nurse that came by him. And he was extremely loud, and it was really, really upsetting my mom. I was completely fine with it, because I was thinking, when I'm 80 years old, I'm going to be like Earl. Like, flirting with doctors, and, just the guy was extremely happy and had a really positive outlook. So I thought it was refreshing, kind of, and it was making me laugh. But she was, like, determined to knock Earl out. So anyway, that was my mom and Earl. Almost got into a fist fight. Poor Earl didn't know what he had coming to him. But anyway, so during that time, I needed to get up and go to the bathroom again, and I had to have the nurse help me because I had an IV. And while I was in the bathroom, I guess another assistant came and told my mom it was going to be another additional hour and a half. So it was longer, and it was delayed, and so we were running behind, and finally Bob had come back, and I don't know what time it was when he came back. I couldn't really see the clock, but it was maybe like 1:30 or so, I'll say. And Bob had said something about, well, I guess Tom Jones is doing an encore performance. And, like, here he comes around the corner. Dr. Jones comes around the corner, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, yeah, there he is. And they were laughing. And then, so, of course, my mom and Bob started in on the whole Tom Jones thing, and Tom Jones doctor. Tom Jones the singer, and the doctor, and making jokes, and Dr. Jones was in a really good mood, which made me really happy, and was joking with them, and he told me that the patient ahead of me had some kind of issue when she was an infant with her intestine, and had abdominal surgery, and had a lot of adhesions in her abdomen, and it was making it really hard for him to do the procedure that he needed to do. So I said, well, then I am going to be your easy case. And he's like, yes, you are. he's like, I'm counting on it that you are. And he's like, I'm going to go get some lunch, and don't you worry about me. And I was like, dude, I'm not even worried about you. And so he went off, and probably about 15 minutes later, here comes this tall man nurse. I don't even know what he was. He told me what he was. His name was Gunner. Apparently I got a little flirty with Gunner in the operating room, but Gunner came, and then Dr. Jones' OR nurse came, and they were talking to me and saying that they were setting up the room and just getting it back together, and they were going to be back in about 10 minutes to come and get me, and 10 minutes flew by quicker than I knew it, and before I could really have the time to get, I guess, really anxious about it, I was kissing Bob and my mom goodbye, and they were wheeling me down the hallway and into this operating theater, and it was like there were TV screens all over the place, and it was cold as heck, and there were lights all over the place, and there were tons of people in there. There must have been like 10 people in there, and they're all like setting things up, and I was like, how many people does this take? And next thing they had me do was scoot over onto the operating table, and then that Gunner guy was asking me questions, and he was like, how far back can you lean your head? And I was like, oh, I think it's back as far as I can lean it back. And he was asking me some other questions, and I don't remember what I was saying to him. But then, poof, I was out, and I felt, I was like, oh, here it comes, and I was trying to fight it, but of course there's no fighting anesthesia. And then the next thing I remember, I was waking up in the post-op recovery, and nurses were talking to me and asking me if my mouth was dry, and I can remember my mouth was really dry, and they were like sponging around my lips and my mouth with some kind of liquid something, I don't know. And I could just remember I was hearing other people that were in the room, because, it's a big open room. And I could just hear, like, the beeping monitors, and, like, slowly I'm, like, realizing the monitors are going away, and it's just my monitor that's in there. Like, I'm the only one that they're keeping an eye on. And I can just remember, like, turning my head, because it was on my right side, just, like, looking at my numbers, and my blood pressure was kind of high, and my heart was up there a little bit, and they were trying to get me to calm down, and so I was like, okay, no problem, I'll work on it. And, the next thing I remember, they were pushing me up to my room, and I have no idea who's pushing me up to my room. I just know that they were telling me that, oh my gosh, they reserved the suite for you. Look at this room, and they were talking about how big my room was, and I had a private room, and it was kind of like on an angle, like on the corner, I guess, and it was almost like it was like two rooms together, and my room, it was really huge. It was very big, and a lot of room to sit, and then the bathroom was huge, and it had this huge walk-in shower with a bench in it, and it was quite impressive. Had it not been a hospital, it might have been a nice room. But, so I remember when they first wheeled me in, it was, I don't even know what time it was, probably, I'm going to say like 7:30-ish. And then my nurse, Jennifer, came in, she introduced herself. She said she was going home pretty soon. At 8 o'clock was their shift change. And two other nurses were coming on, but she would be my nurse in the morning, so she'd see me in the morning. And I was like, okay. It was pretty high then. They came in, and they were doing vitals and the whole 9 yards, and taking my temperature and all that stuff. And Bob and my mom came in, And I could just remember they were like sitting there watching me, and every once in a while, I had my eyes closed most of the time. I'd fall asleep or have my eyes closed or was kind of drifting in and out. And then the next nurses came in, and one of them was named Kelly and one of them was named Pat, so I can remember it. And they're like, we need to listen to your belly and see what's going on in your stomach. And I just remember, like, Kelly she must have been up close to my face, and they're both, putting their stethoscopes all over the place. And I just had this moment of, like, complete, total awakeness that I, like, opened my eyes, and Kelly's face was right here, and she's like, how you doing? Made me kind of laugh. But, yeah, I was pretty gone for a while. So my mom and Bob sat and watched me for a while, and I wasn't doing anything, and I felt like I should be entertaining them, and I kept asking them if they wanted me to turn the TV on, but I had no idea how to turn the TV on, and I really wanted to watch Dancing with the Stars, and they wouldn't turn the TV on for me. So finally they were getting ready to leave, and Bob turned the TV on, and I got to watch Florence Henderson get voted off of Dancing with the Stars. So that's what I remember from my first night. And so I'm going to pause it. I'm going to do a number 3. And I'll go through my second day and what I've been doing so far. So stay tuned for number 3. Be right back.